And here we go. First division of Trivia League. It's a 2-game setup. They've been drafting civilizations, so there won't be any mirrors drafted here. And still, obviously, we're seeing some strong naval civs here. I don't know whose home map this is, who they decided to play first. But King Boo's team, they are the higher rated one. And they get to decide which map to play first. So, GB Page, hello! Long time no see. Nice to see you in the chat. You know these players, maybe? Somehow I thought you were Italian yourself or something, but I might be wrong. Anyway, this is Team Islands, and we have some Dark Age time to kill here, so I'll just go right into it and have a talk about the civilizations. In the pocket we have Salsicciotto 1999 with the Lithuanians. Lithuanians, good for water hybrid maps as well as land maps, because they have start with plus 150 food, which allows you to go to the feudal age quicker and smoother, or just get your dock up nice and early because you can focus on wood straight away, like it is done here. Is 5 on wood already. Salciotto and Co are from the Italian community. Yeah, that's what I thought. Nice. So yeah, dock up already, fishing ship up already. Fantastic early economy start for the green player. Already they're at 18 pop, but yeah, who's counting? So, front dock could mean feudal age naval fighting, could also mean a landing play with scouts and or archers from the green player here, we'll see. To the left side we have Ball with the Byzantines. And Byzantines, they are have faster fire galleys, that's one of the reasons to pick them. Imperial Age is also at a 50% discount, which allows you to make a comeback on water with the fast fire ships and a faster Imperial Age with the Byzantines, for example. And fast fire ships always handy to have, of course. You note that all the civilizations here, they have access to bracer. That's very important in the very late game for naval fighting between galleons and yeah, these ranged ships that are at your disposal. To the right hand side we have Loris here with the Italians. Italians, they go up through the go after the ages more. No discount for ships, what do you mean? No, but for the Imperial Age. The Imperial Age, to get to the Imperial Age for the Byzantines. And Greek Fire, of course, is something as well to consider. Italians, for Laureates, Italians have 15% discount on the uptimes, and they also have... What is it again? Some bonuses applying to water, cheaper fishing ships, and I think they have a discount on the dock techs as well, or something like that. I might be confusing that with the another civilization, but definitely got some bonuses working for the water. So the feudal age are kicking in, and transport ship for the Lithuanians, so it is indeed a landing 3 villagers and a scout for Salsicciotto here, while CLAPS, they're just playing water for the time being, all 3 on water. But their scouts are on points, they'll spot the landing here, I think, fairly easily. Yeah, Pangita is here, so the scout is out to at least disrupt the landing. I think Salsicciotto still will be able to get some value out of the landing here, because it's 3 villagers who could fight the enemy scouts with your own villagers. Landing and straight range here for Salsicciotto will be able to complete this one even with the 3 opponent scouts out here. I don't know why this one is low HP. That's maybe it's been meddling in here as well. But quickly for CLAPS, we have King Boo with the Vikings flank. Gonna play the galleys here, as we see. We have the Capybara with the Japanese. Very tanky fishing ships. Good resource drop-off points, cost less. Excuse me. And the first landing, unfortunately, not working out for Salsicciotto here. Good defense from CLAPS here with their starting scouts. Not even needing to invest into land units, but you can see the Capybara here already has the stable and barracks out to react. 3 ranges on natural side of island. Meh. Yeah, enough with the memes. I don't play into the memes. So let's have a look at the naval fighting here. Pretty healthy galley mass here for Fangita. But getting sandwiched here by Loris's fire galleys, which is never a good sign. So Loris getting some great trades here against the Portuguese initial galleys here. In the meantime, we have King Bu on the left-hand side here with the galleys as well, but also being intercepted by the Byzantine galleys here. As mentioned, they fire a tiny bit faster, 25% faster. So once you get close, they will take out the galleys. But King Bu certainly has the army advantage, army numbers advantage here. So as the landings have failed, at least initially here for the green player, there's not going to be any land aggression. Did send the villagers back home by the looks of it to the transport ship. And now it's all about naval fighting for the teams here. Left hand side, King Bu using that hit and run. And Fayong Ball realizes that this can't be won with only 3 galleys. I need to back off. You see the galleys stacking here as well. 8 to 3. Not pretty numbers for the teal player. It's 3 docks for Loris and it's 3 docks for Fangita. So they are matching somewhat in numbers, but the fire galleys, they need to get close to deal with galleys. So that's unfortunate if the opponent is on point with a micro. So says Teal. I don't know why, but it's chasing King Bu's galleys here. Also has Salsicciotto joining in here. The landing failing, so Salsicciotto with 3 docks now as well. Also committing to the naval fighting. Unfortunately, putting fucking Brutal at a disadvantage. Because they did have the landing planned initially, and now they need to fight for water. So they are definitely behind in the army numbers, because CLAPS went straight, all 3 players, naval aggression, while with the landing attempt that delays the naval army's production of Salsicciotto. Putting the production to a halt here for CLAPS. Maybe they're happy with the current numbers. A couple of demo rafts joining in as they know that there are fire galleys out and about, but could be an indication that they want to go up to the next stage. You see this resource bar here, yellow and red, that's gold, and food needs to go up. Capybara going up to the castle age at 17 minutes here, going to reach castle age just before 20 minutes, which is absolutely a respectable castle age timing from after having invested a little bit into land armies. Was just playing scouts on land here to prevent any further landing attempts from fucking Brutal. Let's see how many docks for Salsicciotto here. It's 3 docks producing. That's going to delay the castle age progress, unfortunately, especially the food here, as you can see. We'll need to fight for water in order to keep the fish income, if any. Only 3 fish for the Lithuanians here. King Bu raiding the left-hand side here with the galleys. A bit of a one-on-one on the left-hand side here between teal and red. Demo's not able to get any value in here. They never should against the galleys, to be honest, because the galleys have the range. So if your micro is on point, you'll hit the demolition raft before it can explode and take out your units. Good engagement by Loris over here with the blue against the purple here. So Fangita sort of losing numbers, falling a bit behind here, being chased by fire galleys on several places here. Consistent production going from the triple docks still though, and they'll probably just keep them garrisoned for now. No transport ships to be spotted by CLAPS here, but castle age is in for both King Bu and Capybara at this point, and it's about to come in for Team fucking Brutal as well. Does look like King Bu has the upper hand here though. He's getting war galley for his now 20 galleys out, and obviously Bodkin arrow as well. And being the Vikings, he's already started production of the almighty longboats as well. So they snagged both Vikings and Portuguese here, CLAPS, which means that you don't have an easy, or the best response to longboats on water is the Portuguese caravels, and that's not an option here for Team Fucking Brutal. They've been drafting differently here, probably relying on land aggression by the Lithuanians to disrupt the opponents, but unfortunately failing that early on. Maybe we'll see another attempt. Military situation is quite comparable, but the longboats, they are going to be terribly dangerous against a team that still has 2 players not in the cast stage. Oh, there's the blue player going up as well, actually. So, War Galley and such should be kicking in. Ooh, hold on a minute. Capybara is going 1 TC fast Imperial to Japanese. And dropping blocks on the back. What's the plan? Is he going to go for fast fire ships or something? I don't even know if Japanese get those. But we'll see. We'll have to keep an eye on the yellow player. He's actually going Imperial Age before Fangita is even cast Age here, which is kind of funny with the Japanese. It's a play you'd sort of expect from the Byzantines. Cannon Galleon Rush, yeah. You still need chemistry for that, though, and yeah, maybe. Maybe it's going to add Cannon Galleons, but then you wouldn't dock the backside, I think. Unless it's just to hide the fact that you're actually playing water with the Japanese here. Oh, your castle is still not in for the Lithuanians, so no war galleys here for the green player. The longboats in numbers for King Boo over here. Looking rough. Cosa. I don't know what that means. Dadgum. And there it is. Imperial Age is in for the Capybara. And we're making the fast fire ships, indeed. Which is going to be very rough on the not even war galleys yet of Salsicciotto. It's about to become war galleys with Bodkin. Ballistics even coming in, so the Lithuanians economy seems to be on point here. But it looks like CLAPS want to close out this game in the cast already. Fires equals garbage. How about fast fires then? Longboats versus war galleys here, fire ships in front. As long as they get close, they'll be able to get some good hits in here. No careening for King Boo, but careening is more important for the fire galleys, which is probably in here for Loris with the Italians. 70 military to 75, 45 here from Fucking Brutal, so CLAPS still in the numbers, and they have fast fire ships. Oh, this is going to be dangerous. Let's see how they trade here. Fast fires, 140 HP. Fires 120, but as they say, they are fast fire, so they should in somewhat similar numbers be trading much better, of course. King Boo is splitting up the armies. These trade galleys from the early game here, they are in the backside here, going to handle some of the exposed resources like the woodlands over here, while on the other side there are longboats contesting the war galleys here, and with the potential of pathfires in the other side here. Ooh, blue has the numbers though, so maybe this isn't going to work out for the Japanese here. Here comes a demolition ship as well, but that's at best going to take 1 out there. There we go. This should still be a decent engagement for blue, I think. No one takes Sicilians on Team Islands nowadays. No, with the instant transport ship, the Sicilians' OP-ness on Team Islands was nerfed. It was a stupid bonus, so it's a good thing they removed it, but it would also be kind of nice to have it for the action of these Islands games. So, economy-wise, Fucking Brutal should be coming out ahead here in a while, I think, because they do have more TCs total, I think. No, actually, that's quite similar. There's the Imperial Age for the Byzantines. It's cheaper. Imperial Age both for the Byzantines and for the Italians. Careening just kicked in for the Lithuanians, and yeah, no landing has been attempted. Again here, King Boo will be cleaning up these war galleys. I think he has the numbers advantage here. I think he's just patrolling in here. He comes a demo. He needs to be a little bit careful here. Don't want to lose don't want to lose longboats to 2 demos. Still instant castle, true, yeah. But that doesn't help if you have the other team dominating the water. If you can't get to the opponent's island, you can't castle drop them either. Oh, good demo hit! Doesn't take out any longboats here, but still takes the shades off some HP. Fatfire is now in the numbers here for the Japanese, 21 of them. We have Imperial Age for Fanjita with the Portuguese as well. Not really any significant naval armies here yet, but getting them back slowly but steadily here. But as the docks go down, it's becoming harder for fucking brutal to keep up here. They are outmassed in naval armies. Some scouts on land here from the Capybara just in case of any landings making it. But in fact, these scouts, all they did was just protect home base. So 6 scouts more than enough, and still allowing Capybara a fast castle and even faster Imperial Age here. So while they are setting up the next lobby, let's just give CLAPS the first game here. They are the second highest ranked team in the division after all, so you'd expect them to perform well here. Let's have a look at the stats. King Boo, very impressive KD here. I don't know what that means, the infinite buildings, but... Anyway, he did kill 102 units and losing 48 Capybara on the positive side as well. Did get into water in the Imperial Age, finally. Should be interesting to see that uptime in total. Byzantine's player, unfortunately, taking a beating there, 6-32. And the landing... Clapster saw right through the landing of Salsit Giotto. It could just be a capture exploiting, that is. I'm surprised, honestly, to see CLAPS economy ahead here, but it's the Vikings, they have an powerful economy. Japanese, yeah, maybe just is overall more efficient, but yeah, total resource collection definitely ahead for Team CLAPS. And then it's Imperial at before 24 minutes, it's just ridiculous. But the Japanese fishing ships, they work faster, they have a faster work rate, so if you are able to keep the enemy from sniping your fishing ships as the Japanese, they are tankier as well, then of course this is possible because you collect the food so fast on water. Biggest boom for the Byzantines here, but maybe impacting the naval investment looking at the overall situation. Alright, let's see if we can find their next lobby. Actually, I could just refresh here and try and search for King Wu. They probably didn't start already, but... Go to the lobby browser, maybe. It's going to be a little bit messed up for you guys because of the overlay, but I hope it's not going to be a big issue. Really, Runestones is next. So Bot Marty is subbed in. He's one of their lower rated players on the team, so I'm glad to see them using the whole full team roster here. Means that we might be seeing the games evening out a bit as well. King Boo, Stake, and Bot Marley playing for CLAPS, while the opposing team will at the very least be playing Loris and maybe a couple others. This has to be a random player, not exactly 2K player here. 2v4 before semi-sexy noobs. Any takers? All right. Looks like they've filled up against Salsicciotto, Loris, and Fireball. I think it's the same team that just played, if I'm not completely out of my mind here. Runestones has been picked, so it's going to play out very differently. We're going to see different civilizations, to some extent at least. We might still see Lithuanians and Japanese, of course. But yeah, no mirrors, as the players are forced to draft civilizations. Okay, I think they may have launched. Here we go, yeah. And you can even see the civs here. I'm gonna put the names up here again. CLAPS. And fucking brutal. Such a cute name. Look, they even took orange instead of or purple instead of yellow, so we can tell the colors more in difference more easily. How very kind of them. Runestones it is. We have caught up with the live. This is a live cast. So they are playing this as we are watching it. Let's just talk about the civs while we can. Laming is allowed. And player 2 laming. Who's player 2? Stake is laming. Or at least he's hoping to be able to. Didn't find the boar. The boar is in the back there. The other one has... Or has it been taken already? Nah. One, two... both boars in the back. It should be fine. Laming is allowed, as per the rules. So, nothing too particular about that. Didn't succeed, though. It's just... I think he stole a couple of sheep, which is still a nice eco advantage if he managed to do so. Idiot. Idiota, I understand that. Or I'm an idiot, maybe that was insane. I wouldn't know. As far as the civs go, we have Loris with the try-hard Franks here. Probably secured that nice and early in the 3 civilization draft that they have. And the opposing pocket being King Boo with the Huns. So Huns, 20% faster working stables, but Franks, 20% instant hit points advantage in the feudal age for the scouts. So until Bloodlands can be researched, Franks scouts have a good advantage. Franks also get the farming upgrades instantly, so they have a very nice boom as the game moves on, and they have, because of that 20% hit points bonus, they have the strongest paladins in the game. So, to the flanks, we have Britons for Fire and Ball, and Saracens for Salsicciotto on the other side. So, Saracens market, great market rates, you can sustain and adjust your economy very easily to go about for that. Here comes the barracks before the mill. So we are going to see a pre-mill drush from Salsicciotto here. If you look at the map, it looks kind of wall-friendly as well. So if the drush is successful, Salsicciotto can definitely get the walls up. And if he's playing drush archers, for example, is going to be able to protect himself through walling from scouts' aggression and be less vulnerable to a 2 vs 1. But Mali with the Ethiopians here has the mill up already, so no pre-mill drush here. It's probably just a straight archers, which in these cases on the high level is usually at even 20 or 21 pop. So the archers will be out nice and early to clean up the drush fairly easily. Topside we have Stake with the Mayans. Ridiculous eco for Mayans. Its resources last 15% longer. And they also have a discount on the archers, so that the archers of the Mayans stay 10, 20, and 30% discount as you move around through the ages. No barracks yet for the Britons, so both Britons and Mayans likely going for the straight archers here. Main goal perfectly placed close to the TC here, that's hard to deny. While for blue here, it's a bit more awkward, but in gold still decently away from the TC. Bot Molly losing some HP to a Frank scout here maybe, or maybe it's been laming earlier on. I don't know. He does not spot. He did not scout the barracks, and he does not spot the rush coming. But Salchitop also doesn't know what's going on there. He could actually deny this barracks maybe if he hits this area on time. But yeah, the walls are going up. There is a chance that Salchitop isn't getting in here at all. Topside, scouts fight. Eagle should lose that one, as the scout has yeah, had some advantage here. Fuel Age in for King Boo is going to drop the stable and play the scouts, and it's also in for the Franks, which will also be placing the barracks face up. Here comes the Drush, joined by Loris's Fuel Age Scout as well. Could be deadly. Good blocks here. But Marley might just lose a villager here if the blocking works out as intended, but there's the TC Fire. Can't commit here. Salsit Giotto, and Bot Marley gets away with the villager. It survives. Double ranges now for Bot Marley. Should be cleaning up this Drush in no time with the fast firing Ethiopian archers. While topside we have the Mayans double ranges here, and probably the Britons as well. I'd be surprised if we don't see two ranges from the Britons as far as economy allows here. They would not quite allowing for a second range just yet, but could be ranged blacksmith as well, and earlier fletching for the Britons here, but knowing that red is going for two ranges, it's probably going to be mirrored by the Britons player. Decent value from the Drush here. It's denying a woodland and forced most of the villagers to relocate. Aperto, that means open, so it's a flare that is open. That's 1 point of entry for Loris here. Yes, they say. Maybe there are a lot of voices chatting to each other on message, but who am I to judge? Now, looking at the overall situation, CLAPS are actually behind in economy. They seem to have had... I'm missing something here. Okay, marginally. It's a tiny bit behind in villager production. As King Boo and Bot Marley are joining together here, but the walls are in place for basically all of fucking Brutal here, except for this very backside with the gold of Fai Qualco, or Fai on wall. Make a wall. I don't know. I don't speak Italian. And scouts fight going to happen here, and the Drush moves on for Salsit Giotto as well, since there wasn't too much damage to be done against Ethiopians once the ranges are up. And moves on to hit the pocket where it's still open at King Boo's side, but King Boo has the scouts of his own here to engage against Franks. However, it looks like until King Boo's rest of scouts can join in here, he's fighting at a disadvantage, especially against the stronger HP Frank scouts. Green matching the numbers here, 6 scouts to 7. But with the militia mixed in here as well, the HP advantage is minimal for the Franks player on this team. It looks like King Boo's scout now, micro is on point here, is going to clean up both the Drush and the remaining forward scouts of Loris, as Loris is left it for scouts. King Boo now with 6, and since King Boo now has the numbers, he's also able to engage more comfortably against the Franks' higher HP scouts here. Castle H on the way for Salsit Giotto with the Saracens here. Drush FC, in fact, with the Saracens here. That's could be a bit rough against a double range Ethiopians player with the fast firing archers here. But it all depends on whether what Marley is allowed in here. Salsi Giotto, being the Saracens, he could also market wall this area. It's only going to cost him 75 wood, so that the archers won't be able to deny building foundation walling behind here. So actually going the economic way here. Small walls. Bot Marley moves in, but Salsi Giotto has walled in towards this area. Gets a kill though. So one builder killed for Bot Marley. Stake has been able to focus down the builder up here as well. Oh. So have a look at the Britons archers number. Britons, Mayans tied in numbers here. It's 2 ranges for the Britons. Britons have 20% faster working ranges, and that is a team bonus, so that benefits the Saracens production as well. Very nice team bonus to have for the flank players to boost the numbers and presumably take the military lead. But CLAPS, they have been taking better engagements here. Their KD is actually not that positive, so I guess they're just better at consistent production of armies behind this. Always backing off towards the hill here to take the get that 25% hill the advantage. Loris now with the scouts getting some raids in on King Boo's side, but King Boo reacts well in time here and doesn't take any more losses. He's lost 3 villagers, but that's from the 2v1 situation earlier, I think. Here comes the blacksmith, and as you can see from the resource bars here, King Boo has the resources to go to the Castle Age. In the meantime, though, we have the Franks player already on the way up at the same population as King Boo is currently at. So the Franks player will be having a head start to the Knights production in Castle Age. Crossbows in for the Saracens, trying to trade against the Ethiopians here. Bodkin obviously helping out in that regard, having... Isn't it 2 more range? Yeah, it's 7 to 5 range. But again, the Ethiopians player has the numbers, so Bot Marley is keeping the archers defensively and disallowing Salsi Giotto. Significant damage, for now anyway. Saracens... Archers, line units, they have bonus damage against buildings. I believe that is a team bonus as well. So that's going to allow Britons to break through more easily at the stakes side. Yeah, that's a nasty mass of army from the Britons joining in here, forcing stakes armies to pull back home, of course. They seem... somewhat similar in numbers here. Forcing a defensive tower, always good, and so it delays any further town centers for the mines in the Castle Age. However, Fayon Vol hasn't clicked up to the next stage yet, and this resource bars shows that the resources are quite far away from the next stage as well. Not enough, or too many archers, I should say, to camp underneath the towers here, so the Britons player will be losing huge mass here as Stake is pulling the villagers away. So Stake is trading armies here over villagers, has only lost 1 villager to this pressure, and will be cleaning up lots of numbers from the blue player here, which is something you generally want to avoid when playing the flank too. You want to preserve your archer numbers for that power spike in the next stage. There is an advantage here to having the Britons, though, that you produce 20% faster, so you'll produce armies more fluidly at home. I'd say that's a very unfortunate engagement for Fayon Vol, though it's 1225 eco, or 1225 KD, sorry. So we did take some significant losses there, while Stake was able to preserve most of the archers for the crossbow upgrade in the Castle Age. So a bit of a 1 versus 1 situation here. Frank's player adding the 3rd TC now, so Loris playing that eco card here with Franks, but able to boom with double stable Knights production behind this. So triple TC and double stable Knights, doubling up on Bot Marley here, who will have to hold a 2 versus 1 for a while here until King Boo can get matching numbers of Knights out. Top side, we have the Britons crossbows and Mayans crossbows joining in. Britons don't have crossbows yet. It's 13 archers, triple ranges, quadruple ranges. Added another range here to be able to replenish more quickly, but risks taking some huge losses here now. I think Blue may need to scramble up a tower now to keep the gold safe, or just hang on until the cast stage and try to get the TC up where this mining camp currently is. Losing farms here. Better losing farms than losing villagers. As King Boo now joins in to help at Bob Marley's side, but the armies are fucking brutal now at King Boo's side, so King Boo will need to pull back, and he will possibly be joined by Bot Marley as well, but where is Bot Marley going? He's gonna get some free kills here on Loris's knights actually, but Loris quite the healthy eco numbers here. King Boo has been pulled off gold with the enemy crossbows sitting out here a moment ago, so that's impaired his knights production. He's also with 9 knights, is getting upgrades now with the excess food, but the gold situation on the low side for King Boo, too low to add more knights impact, and it's only 2 stables. It still has those 20% faster working stables, but now the armies are fucking brutal. They're moving further on. They've denied King Boo of some gold. They're playing the army mobility and movement very nicely here. They're applying pressure at several areas. With meanwhile, Stake is out of position with his armies, but is also potentially going to be able to disrupt Loris's eco at home base here. That is a good trade for Team CLAPS here. Heal advantage for Bot Marley with the faster firing Ethiopian's archers. Mayans archers joining in here. It's going to be a cleanup, but that was a heavy blow to the knights numbers of the Frank's pocket knights. They've both been losing numbers here, and they are currently at similar numbers. And neither of them producing. King Boo now replenishing, though he's stabilized a bit at home and is now adding that 3rd TC as well. 14 on gold should be more than enough to keep 2 ranges producing. While Loris will clean up the remaining Mayans crossbows here. Really trading army numbers seemingly evenly here, but CLAPS better at replenishing here. They are back with a 20 military lead here, while Fucking Brutal has taken fewer losses or less idle time at home, idle eco time, so they are with a tiny eco lead. I'd say wheelbarrow in for all 3 players on Fucking Brutal means that they are essentially almost 10 villagers ahead here with a more fluent economy as well. You can see the tracking army movements as well. Blue flaring the location of player 6's knights. Dolly 6 just kicked in for Bot Marley, so now both or all flank players have better accuracy on their crossbow armies as well. See, CLAPS, they're all collected here with armies. Granted, it's only like 4 knights of King Boo, but they are going to collect lots of crossbow numbers here and try to yet again punish the Frank's pocket, I think, who has been having the eco running almost uninterrupted throughout most of the game. So more of a 1v1 situation down to the south here for Bot Marley versus Salsit Giotto again. Salsit Giotto with eco kills here. Bot Marley has been taking some losses. He's behind almost by 10 villagers to Salsit Giotto, and is about to lose 1 precious town center defending golds and woodlands here as well. But with the mass amounts of crossbows here from Team CLAPS. Loris is forced into some fortifications to defend here. King Boo even joins. This is essentially a 3 versus 1, about to become a 3 versus 2 in the pockets position here. They really want to. CLAPS are doing all they can here to cripple the most mobile player, the Frank's cavalry player here, who has cavalry spread out to the sides here. 1 TC down for bot Mali here, losing quite a few builders as well. We're lacking the mobility of Loris's knights here, though. There was one over here, but as you can see, the production has stopped for completely for Loris here in the pocket spot, so not replenishing the knight at this point in time. Some much needed defensive fortifications here, protecting woodlands and farms and whatnot, but good engagement with CLAPS there, even if it meant losing some of the crossbow masses. Yeah, but Mali is really taking losses here, so lost 30 villagers at this point. In the meantime, Stake has stabilized here as is on the way to the Imperial Age to be able to eventually get to the Arbalest upgrade for the forward units here. It's 2.5 minutes away though, so we might actually lose the ball of most of the crossbows before the Imperial Age. So this is a very important fight for Blue to take here, to eliminate as many Mayans crossbows as possible to diminish that Arbalest advantage that brings. Good engagement there from Blue. What's reason for concern for fucking Brutal here is that the pocket cavalry armies is twice the numbers now for King Boo. Loris struggling for food, especially currently, at least in terms of producing cavalry here. King Boo, the better boom here now, more than 20 villagers lead over the pocket, so brings a better economy into the transition towards Imperial Age. Neither of the pockets will be making Imperial Age anytime soon though, or not just yet, looking at the resource bars. Bot Mali losing 32 villagers thus far, 51 villagers compared to Salsicciotto's 82. Salsicciotto definitely the better spot of these two players here. However, you could say that about Red and Blue as well, that Stake is slightly ahead, and more importantly, well ahead in the progression here. It's going to go to Imperial Age and get Arbalest Bracer chemistry as soon as is able. Bracer being maybe the most important one for extra range and damage. Yeah, there it is. Always Bracer first. Vediamo. Loris not producing, is going Imperial Age here without any significant army base to benefit from that. King Boo is just casually strolling out into the middle of the field here, taking the neutral golds, knowing that his team has the map control now, as Bot Marley repositions ATC here to claim a neutral gold as well. And they seem to be thinking about some efforts to secure trade in the topmost corner here as well. Or maybe not, but this walling here, maybe that's been there all time. This has to be their trade route if they're going for a trade, come to think of it. Arbalest is in for the Mayans, deadly as heck when you can get to it. It's 6 ranges now producing for Stake, and we're at almost 60 Arbalests here, punishing the Britons, pushing away. Britons also making it to Imperial Age, which is of concern for the Mayans, because Imperial Age alone will bring another range, and once you get Bracer, you'll be looking at 5+5 range. So if they're somewhat similar in numbers, Blue will be able to use that range to his advantage. King Boo here with a little bit of knights joining in to take a little engagement against the crossbows here, take out some numbers before that Arbalest upgrade can kick in. Arb before, or is Bracer in already? No, Arb before Bracer, maybe delaying Bracer because of the fact that Britons get that +1 range from Imperial Age alone as a bonus. So says something of the eco of the Britons here, very gold heavy, very somewhat unbalanced here, also off wood situation looking dire for the Britain's player in terms of fluent arm production. 4 Rangers producing for the Britons. Has that faster production speed after all. But Stake now just patrolling here with the ridiculous arm masses. 72 arbalests and counting. So CLAPS, even though Bot Marley has been taking some hits throughout the game here, he's stabilizing, and CLAPS, they are assuming a military advantage here. Cavalier now coming in for King Boo, and he has twice the cavalry of the Franks, even though Loris has a tiny head start to the Cavalier and Plate Party of Harbor upgrades. King Boo getting some juicy raids in on Salsicciotto's side here. Still at 100 villagers, so there's more damage to be done here. Cavalier now only half a minute away. Actually, it's 1-0 for CLAPS, by the way. I should have added that at the beginning of the game, but they did win the first Team Islands game. I just forgot to update. Markets going up in the corner for CLAPS, so they actually plan to trade in this direction. Seems a bit risky with Blue's expansion over here, but I don't think they care at this point. They know they have decent map control here. They've forced the Britons player into skirmishers, which is never ideal, but the ARB numbers increasing as well. Just some few numbers of skirms to mix in and provide in the overall fighting. Fucking brutal. They are behind in villages now by a factor of 60, 70, some such. Slightly behind in military as well, so the overall population looking healthy for CLAPS here. This outpost here will reveal for Blue that there is indeed trade being set up for CLAPS here. But can they punish it? The ARBs moving to deny the neutral gold of Stake here, and maybe the trade as well, but this isn't where the ARBs are needed currently. Maybe it's just pulling them away to preserve the numbers, to be able to take a better fight against the Mayans here. But Mayans now at 30% cheaper arbalests. They have such a ridiculous mass here, even compared to the Britons with the faster production rate. Military numbers comparable, but King Boo is getting Paladin here for the 40 Cavaliers. As is Loris, but Loris has fewer cavalry units still. Well, this could be a great engagement for King Boo over here. He's being joined by Stake as well. They're really punishing the Britons' economy over here as... Oh, another TC right next to this one, are you kidding me? Oh, it has to be a panic TC here to preserve as many villagers' lives as possible, but 56 villagers lost and counting for the blue player here. It's looking rough for fucking brutal now, even though they're still pressuring Bot Mali here. It feels like they're pressuring what could be considered the weakest of the 3 players on CLAPS on this side, and that's not working into fucking Brutal's advantage here. Getting some decent hit and run trades against the King Boo's Paladins though, but look at the general numbers. That Hunnic production here is really paying off. Bot Marley now with the Bracer as well, and I think they're considering calling the GG here now, looking at the chat in question here. They are behind by 100 population total, and they are losing army mass as well. Britain's relocating Frank's castles, protecting home base, but once siege enters the field like forward castles or trebs or rams or whatever, then CLAPS could just demolish a couple of castles and raid freely into the Franks economy as well. Trade not running yet, I think, but they are... Okay, they're trading in both corners. Looks like Salsicciotto wants to drop a forward castle here. They may be looking at the score as well, looking at it's not all that different. But the army situation here is what gives it away. It's like twice the military for CLAPS now, and they're not giving in there. They're approaching pop cap for all of their players. They're 80 pop away from full pop. And they're just peeling more units all the time as the Ethiopian players also getting Arbalest. Problem is that you cannot win versus the Arbalest now, and I lost all of mine. Yeah, maybe some of them are on voice and some of them are not. Snake dropping a castle here close to the trade route, going to deny both these TCs of blue, who is fairly low in overall score and population here. 38 pop, 6 military. Britain's not going to provide too much for the rest of this game. Laura's still hanging in here, but it's lacking in numbers compared to King Boo. Look at this paladin production, it's ridiculous. It's 13 stables producing paladins for King Boo at this point, even at close to pop cap, I guess he is. The GG is called, CLAPS being the favorite team here. They called the GG. Good early efforts from fucking Brutal. They did some nice early damage, but CLAPS are playing the long game and taking it home to the end. Well held by Botmali as well to hold to response for periods of time and getting back into it, finally getting to the Ethiopians armless there. Late game Ethiopians are scary anyway, because you have a decent working economy. You could always switch into siege rams, or they have all of the siege weapons fully upgraded, so there's lots of options there to close out games in the late game if you're the Ethiopians. That's a ridiculous KD for King Boo, especially 100 positive there, 251 to 153. So generally well fought, taking the good engagements here. You can tell that from the units killed and lost for Team CLAPS, that they outsmarted the fucking Brutal team in the overall judgment of fights. Uptime's quite similar here. The scouts probably similar here, 20 pop. Faster production for the Huns, stronger scouts for the Fangs. Some nice engagements there early on. Good Drush FC from Salsi Giotto as well, getting nice and early to those Saracens crossbows that also break buildings fairly easily. Boomer. King Boom. Great Huns performance from Pocket there from King Boo, ending at 150 villagers and 50 paladins, I believe. GG.